a quick trip down to the tip to get rid of the old plasterboard and insulation from the renovation in the study. I've also got the carcass of an electric recliner that we had that had basically just worn out its welcome. It was old, flattened, a bit broken. I did dismantle it. I took the electric motor out, which was still pretty good. Took out all of the metal actuation stuff because that can be scrapped. All that's left is the light timber and plywood carcass of it and the worn out cushion parts that were attached. So that wasn't much to take down to the tip. So it's been sitting in the back of the truck for about a week. Thrown all the rest of the stuff in here. I can't remember if the tip still has a minimum charge for general waste. So if you're going to have a minimum charge, you may as well take what you can to the tip and just be charged by the weight. Because you'd hate to take, I think the minimum charge used to be 100 kilos, so if you took less than 100 kilos, you'd still get charged the full amount, or the minimum charge, I should say. It'd be interesting to see how much this weighs. One of the insulation bags are basically soaked up rain, so I upended that one and squeezed the insulation out like a sponge to get the water out of it, because you don't want to be paying for water weight. You can kind of feel the weight on the back, so there must be a decent amount in there. Most of that's going to be the old plasterboard, which would have soaked up, unfortunately, a little bit of moisture in it. It wasn't too bad, it didn't feel that bad, but I remember that happened once before where I was taking old chipboard to the tip and it had been sitting around and it just soaked up everything like a sponge, especially the MDF. There was a great amount of weight in that. Dashing down to the Blaxland tip for that, trying to do this in a hurry because we have a booking for an NBN technician to come out because our NBN started clicking and wasn't connecting, and because we have a Telstra smart modem, it just switched over to the mobile network, which funnily enough is faster than our old ADSL. We've got fibre to the curb NBN. While I was at it, I asked if we could upgrade to fibre to the premises to see if we were eligible. We were. So that is hopefully happening on Friday. But in the meantime, they're still coming out today between 1 and 5 to check on the current NBN connection. I really don't like going to the tip with tip stuff. However, the amount of plasterboard and insulation would have taken weeks to get rid of in our bins, because we only have a small trash bin. We have bigger recycling ones, and you don't want to take up too much space in your bins from your regular rubbish. Kind of taking down the materials that can't be recycled, which is a pretty good, like, it's an expected strategy in construction. Reuse as much materials as you possibly can, such as timber, and I see a couple of builders that I follow online where you see them going, well, we've got these offcuts, we can use them here for blocking or noggins or whatever, rather than starting with a big brand new piece. Reusing materials when doing extensions and stuff. Plasterboard you often can't reuse, especially if it, you know, 1 breaks up, 2 is mouldy, 3 is horrible and gross. And whereas, like, when I took that closet apart, I aimed to try and save as much of that stuff as possible. Even though they're not large pieces, some of them are large enough where you might need a patch. I'm trying to be as ethical as I can with my use of the dump. It's expensive going to the tip. All of my recent ones have just been for large scale cardboard, plastic and foam recycling, which is all free. Reduce, reuse, recycle. There's another R, or is it only 3 R's? I know the reduce, reuse, recycle. I thought there was a 4th one. I better check that because I'm pretty sure that's in the course. It might not be an R, which is what I can't remember. It might be repurpose, reduce, reuse, repurpose, recycle. Whenever you're in a hurry, that's when you get slowed down. Minimum charge $52. That'll be for 100 kilos. Of course, mixed waste is $520 per tonne. Metal free, waste oil free, polystyrene free, recyclables free, like the household stuff, computers and televisions free. Everything else is charged for at varying rates. Asbestos, $520, but you've got to book for that. $259 a tonne for branches and tree prunings. So if you can mulch that, you do that. It's a mixed waste, plasterboard, old insulation.
Yeah. Anything I do there, mate? Oh, yeah. All right, mate. That's the gentleman down there will show you where to go.
Thank you. You know, old plasterboard, insulation, and
Oh, which?
plasterboard, insulation, and a broken up recliner.
And a broken up. All in there, mate.
In this
What sort of insulation? It's not that fluffy stuff, is it? Or
No,
is it just bats?
it's the old bats, yeah.
Bats. Are they bagged up or anything?
Yeah.
Yep, cool. Number 2, mate.
Nice. This time my way out is when I figure out what it costs. .12 of a tonne, so 120 kilos, at $520 a tonne. Then it says base charge of $50.36 at a minimum of $52, with EPA levy of $12.04, which adds up to $62.40. Head back to the house and do just some stuff while I wait for Telstra to show up. So this is the bookshelf that we picked up off Marketplace, and wife said, could I cut it down and make it into a hutch on top of a thing. That's what I think I was talking about the other day. And it's 60mm too wide. She doesn't care about this bit and the fanciness or whatever. She just wants it to fit. So I'm going to see if I can narrow it. On looking over it, looks like the shelves are just nailed in, pin nailed. There might be glue. There's definitely glue here for this join, possibly for this across the front. I can see pin nails. I don't know, it depends on how much care the original company that made it took. I'm gonna need my mallet, which is upstairs. I remember once upon a time I would have carried that out here, and now I need that. Just going by the number of pin nails, I don't think they would have used any glue on some of these parts. Definitely not this, because that's all moving, so we might be lucky and not have any of the timber destroyed by the glue ripping off. Yep. So they did use some glue. It's tearing the rain a little bit. Look at all these nails. Like across the top. And I don't think I've got pincers anymore, because my pincers I lost momentarily, and then I found them in the grass in the front yard from when I was building the planters. I'd never knew they went missing, and then I found them and they're rusted shut. I've tried soaking them in WD-40 and all that sort of stuff, but they're rusted shut. Well, I thought I'd give them another go. Stuck them in the vise, a bit more WD-40, and after a bit of manoeuvring, they're resurrected! Woo! This is awesome news. So that's nails from the back, and that's not all of them because some came out in the boards. And no matter how soft pine is, if there's a knot, the nails get stuck and cut off. So I'll have to try and get them, or I will just punch them in further. Let this be a lesson. I wasn't wearing any goggles or glasses because all I was doing was pulling the nails out, And this little splinter flicked out from behind the nail and went straight in my eyeball. And when I thought I had got it, I could still feel something, and I was looking and I couldn't see anything. So I put my glasses on, and this thing was sitting right in the corner of my eye, in the soft part near the inside crick of the eye. Far out. I'd left my hearing protection in my ears just in case I decided to grab the hammer out again and just started wailing without putting these back in to protect my ears. And I didn't have these on at the very least. It was right here. I just pulled out the nail and it flicked a little splinter into my eye. Kind of like these. Now that's just ridiculous. This is all the nails that were holding just that one piece of trim on.